when I think about Advent, I used to think about things like snow and ripping open presents and wrapping paper and my mom's famous crepes, because all of those things to me represented Christmas. And if you were to ask me about Jesus, I would tell you about things like he was a very special baby, born in a manger, maybe a story about 3 wise men, and maybe even throw in a little bit of that very special Catholic thing, midnight mass. But then in 2011, my perspective really started to change. Maybe Advent wasn't so much about the past. Maybe Advent was really about waiting in hopeful expectation for him to come again. And it seems that he often comes in very unexpected places. In 2011, when I was pregnant with my first child, I was diagnosed with eye cancer. And I was presented with 2 options, whether to undergo radiation or electively have my eye removed. Uncertain if the radiation would harm the baby, I chose to have my eye removed. As a result of this experience, I started to see the world differently. And not just because I only had one eye. I saw Jesus in a very different way. He wasn't this historical figure from the past. He really became somebody who was my hope in the future. Fast forward 3 months when I give birth to my baby John. This entire thing makes me look back and reflect on the birth of Jesus. We would have expected that God would have had Jesus come to us in a castle or find room for him in the inn. It's so unbelievable to think that God brings his one and only son into the world in a stable, and that they lay baby Jesus in a manger. And it's not one of those mangers of like when you were a kid with your nativity set where it's a beautiful little crib with a lot of fluffy straw. It's a trough where animals feed. And I think it's just the start of how God continues to surprise us and shows us that we can find him in the most unexpected of places. For me, I found him in really unexpected places. A diagnosis, a really difficult pregnancy, what I deemed to be a really unfair choice. But what about you? Maybe it's a divorce or a lost job, a struggling relationship, addiction maybe, or simply the feeling that maybe you're just not good enough. Just like the stable and the manger were really unexpected, God was there. What God's really challenging us to do is to slow down, to reflect, to pray, to be appreciative. And maybe he'll find you in your unexpected place too.